Thank you for being here. So I've titled this talk, Evolution, a why, a bit of how, a what, and a when, a few whats and when, and in 20 minutes. That's the idea anyway. Again, my name is Chuck Williams. I am the UI UX tech lead at Dash, and I got to tell you, it's been an incredible experience working for Dash at the first decentralized autonomous organization. They focus a lot on the A in autonomous. That autonomous, if you're not able to operate autonomously, you don't really succeed in this space. It's just incredible going in this direction. Before I go too much further, I'd like to say some thank yous to Ian, Mukau, Ujin, Robert, Fernando, Alex, Nathan, Luba, Joshua, Kelly, Ryan, Draco, Alexander, the Dash Force News guys, Brian, Joel, and Mark, and of course, Amanda B. Johnson, Andy Freer, and Evan Duffield. Without these people, none of us would be here today. And I think it's worthwhile to just acknowledge that for a moment. So let's talk a moment about why. That is, why am I here? I like to ask myself this question a lot. I've spent a lot of time doing UX. I've spent a lot of time understanding people. I'm a big psychology buff. I like to think about what people think about. I like to think about thinking. They call it meta-thought, from what I understand. I've spent a lot of time understanding what people need for these interfaces. Some of you may know that I'm listed as a patent inventor for the Shutterfly photo book application. I was involved in implementing the FedEx Print Online application, so if you've ever uploaded a document and picked it up at a FedEx office, you've used my work. If you've ordered a photo book and set it on your coffee table, you've used my work. But the reason that I'm here today is to serve freedom. Because for the first time in my life, my morals and principles align with the work that I'm doing. There is an epic struggle that reaches back into all of mankind's history between the people who would control other people and the people who want to control themselves. I am in service of the latter group. I'm also here to serve this vision. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that vision today, what that vision is, what that vision means. And I'm also here for you, the community. I want to bring service to you. It is so fundamental to my being that I make you happy with these wallets and applications and things that we're going to deliver. So that's why I'm here. Most of us know that the goal of Dash is to be the crypto that your grandma can use, right? But you have to ask yourself, what does that mean? And I'm asking myself, what does that mean every single day? It's my life at this point. It's ingrained in my soul. I think about it all the time, all the conversations that I have. What this means, that should this vision become a reality, it means that grandma is out there getting her Dash any way that she can, right? But it means more than that, because it takes more than grandmas to run a digital economy, right? But that vision means that we've solved a number of things. It means that the experience is such that it's pleasurable. It means that we made grandma smile, right? At some point, we made her smile. It was enjoyable for her to use this thing. That's my number one goal right now. It means that we've built a trustworthy brand by delivering on our promises. I am not one who likes to not deliver on my promises. I just had a conversation with Scott Farnsworth, who likes to do this thing that he calls stacking the deck. And I realize that's a very good perspective. He stacks the deck with work. All the things that you see us do, there's 30 things going on behind us. And if we just deliver on those few things, then we will succeed. But it also means that we've made it easy for developers to learn and implement the Dash platform. This is critical. And also it means that the fundamentals are well known and accessible, and we have accessible resources in all forms of media, making education very approachable for Dash developers and the Dash community globally. So, before I dive into evolution itself, I think it's important to clear some things up. Okay, there's a lot of confusion out there. I'm just kind of pointing that out. Because I put some questions out there to the community. I said, hey, tell me what you want to know about evolution. And one of the first things that I realized after receiving all these questions is that not everybody has the understanding, of course, that I do working with the core team to paint the picture, to build on top of their ideas, to build their understanding of what Dash is doing, what we're doing with evolution, okay? So the first thing that I want to clear up, and I was shocked to learn this, okay? Evolution is just a code name, okay? I know this may be a shock and surprise to a lot of you, but we will not be launching this product under the name of evolution. And I think it's ever important to just get that out in the air right now. We probably won't be marketing it as evolution, okay? You can call it evolution, just know that it's a public code name that we use for this thing, and I'll talk more about that thing. But it's the same thing that Android does, right? They've got very flavorful code names, right? The most recent one being Oreo. I'm surprised that they're able to do that, but they're not marketing it, right? As Oreo. So that's Android's latest release. The second clarification that I need to make, and this is a screenshot from our release that went out into about evolution, is that evolution is not just a product, okay? It's both a product and a platform. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that because not everybody understands what that means, being both a product and a platform. So I'm going to dive into that just a little bit because I really think it's important. So let's take a look at platforms and products just for a minute. Apple OS X platform, great platform. iPhone, iPad, MacBook Pro, hundreds, thousands of applications. All products written on top of a platform, okay? Keep this in mind. Another good example, Google Android. Platform. Google Android is a platform. You've got other products written on top of this platform, right? Find My Device, Android Pay, Camera, Gmail, Earth, SkyMap. You guys are familiar with these, right? Go Google Play and see all the products that are launched on top of the Android platform, all right? Dash Evolution is a platform. We are building a platform. And upon this platform, we'll be delivering Evolution accounts. That'll be one of our products. Evolution-enabled wallets, another product. Merchant applications, Masternode applications, investment tools. Dash Core will be treated as a product. Dash Drive will be treated as a product. And the decentralized API will be treated as a product. I hope this paints a picture for where we're going, okay? And I hate to belabor this point, but I do want to be clear. This is a platform that we are building. These platforms are coming. Everybody's getting a platform, okay? This is important for all of us to understand. So, just as Dash will be digital, more than just digital cash, it's going to be a digital cash platform, okay? So to reiterate, Evolution is a code name, Evolution is a product, Evolution is a platform, okay? I hate to belabor this point too much, but I'll move on. So Dash will be more than just digital cash, okay? We've already got digital cash kind of in the bag. Satoshi Nakamoto really did this for us, and we just wrote some improvements on top of it. It's going to be a digital cash platform, but it's going to be more than just a digital cash platform. It's going to be a digital cash platform product. But really, it's going to be a little bit more than that because we know that it's It's more than just a digital cash platform product. There's a longer than 1 second delay on this thing, guys. We know that it's global. It's a global digital cash platform product. But it's even more than that. Really, if you want to get the picture right, it's a global, decentralized, autonomous, digital cash network, platform, product, economy. Does that make sense? This is what we're building, okay? Now, this is evolution. This is what evolution is going to be. So at this point, I'm going to just ditch my cards because I don't think I need them anymore. And I'm going to talk a little bit about how we're going to do this, all right? I struggled with this because I think that it's important to communicate as much as I can, but we have to hold our advantage, right? Our market advantage. So some stuff we need to keep in. That's why we're using private repositories. And what I think we need to do is break this down. I want to tell you as much of the how as I can without going into too much technical detail. So I'm going to keep this at a bit higher level. Moving ahead. So this is, again, my Venn diagram. If you've seen any videos, I talk about this. The user goals on top, the technology goals on the bottom right, and the organization goals on the bottom left. I've been on 40 different project teams building software for a couple of decades. I usually focus on the front end. I have designed some databases. I've done a lot of middleware. I've been involved in this industry for quite some time. And this model works. It helps us to gain agreement on our teams. When I facilitate conversations with clients, I tell them, I show them, look, if you don't satisfy your users, you're going to fail. If you don't meet the technology goals, you're going to fail. If you don't fulfill the organization goals, or business, if you're talking with a corporation, you're going to fail. You have different ways of failing. And if you look at the research on software development, you're more likely to fail than to succeed. In fact, if I recall, it's about 80% likely to fail. So this becomes a risk mitigation game. And if you're going to be successful in this industry for a couple of decades and get products out, they're going to last 8 years on the web. I think it's 10 years now, some of the applications that I've written. For that kind of longevity, you need to make sure that you're satisfying all of these areas, okay? So first, with evolution, we're going to give users a home. You will have your own little real estate on the blockchain, excuse me. It's going to be property on the blockchain called your username. Your username is going to be, well, just like a Twitter account, you know? It's how you're going to be identified on the system. It's how people are going to know you. And we can enhance that and we can build on top of it, but this is the first thing that we're going to do because everything with evolution is built on top of being able to have unique identifiers that are public, findable, searchable, and so on and so forth. So I've been asked not to go into too much detail, so I'm going to give you just a little bit of an overview. If you guys are familiar with the BIP process, Bitcoin Improvement Protocols, or Bitcoin Improvement Proposals, excuse me, we've got DIP processes going on here at Dash, all right? We've got Dash improvement proposals that are currently under design and development. Our guys have been debating, meeting, talking, reviewing, hashing out, refining all these different DIPs. And this is just a small selection that's specifically around user names. There's probably, 20 or so others that are being reviewed and written and designed and researched. Now, this is one of the wonderful things about Dash, right? We have the funds to provide for research and development. We are investing in a solid platform. We're talking about money here. We need to make sure that this is secure, but we also need to make sure that it's friendly and usable. So all these DIPs that I'm going to talk about here, first off, user accounts. This DIP talks about the structure of user accounts. DIP 29 and DIP 30, usernames and DAuth. And usernames, so we're going to talk about like it's the evolution when we deliver it. Usernames will have, there will be rules, and they're going to be common rules that you're familiar with in other systems. And they'll be compatible with as many languages as we can support on the blockchain, because usernames will land on the blockchain. That's one of the things that's going to make them findable. But not all the information is going to be landing on the blockchain. The second thing that we're going to do, is we're going to provide users control, that searchability and contact management. One of those dips that I talked about that I think is very interesting, it's kind of this sneaker attack that we're doing, the DAuth that you may have noticed up there. That's a authentication mechanism, okay? So you think about, sometimes when you log into a website, you might pop up and they'll offer you, hey, do you want to use your Google account or your Facebook account or your Twitter? You can log in with those. Well, guess what? We're going to add dash right there. Now, if we only do that, what that means is millions of people around the world are going to be able to use the Dash platform as an authentication mechanism. And we could just do that alone. We can do that all day. There's companies that do that. And it's going to be secure because we're talking about money. We're building it on the blockchain. You can use this as a 2FA or a UTF kind of thing, if you're familiar with those. So again, searchability, contact management, we'll add that in. And then the third stage in this kind of strategic vision that we're approaching towards the next year, we're going to provide merchants with product payment integrations. Okay, so after we have the blockchain storing usernames, after we have all the data for the first-class citizens and the object schemas and all that kind of worked out, the configurations for merchant apps and all these things kind of worked out, we're working on these things right now. Then we'll go out to the merchants and say, hey, here's what we've got for you. We'll make big promotions, and we'll talk about product payment integrations. We'll say, look, your developers, merchants, talk to your developers. Here's our developer docs. You can copy and paste this and add Dash Pay right here. You can build this into your application this way. Here's the decentralized API documentation. Here's how you can invoke transactions and store data in Dash Drive and do all the things that our platform will provide. We're going to be able to replace database systems. Ditch your MongoDB in the cloud. We've got another cloud that's right here, hashed to the blockchain with every transaction. So then what? Then we scale, okay? Once we get these evolution core pieces in place, then we're going to start scaling out with the merchant solutions that we've offered as payment integrations. And that's when we blow up, okay? That's when we really hit the ground running. So when is this all going to happen, right? I think that's a big question in the room. The first thing that we're doing right now is we're working on these dips and we're working on the UX. Joshua and I are working heavily on the very first flow of onboarding users. And just to give a little bit of tidbit on that, it's going to be a subscription kind of based system where you get an invitation. And that invitation takes two parts. There's a sponsor and a receiver. Now, you can go ahead and create a wallet, right? And the wallet is, you get your mnemonic and all that, and that's very simple. But in order to get written on the blockchain, the miner's got to get paid. Nobody works for free. Miner's got to get paid, masternode's got to get paid. So in order to facilitate this, we will have sponsors. Your friend can send you an invitation for a very small fee, and that'll get mined to the blockchain. That invitation will be good for a period of time. You receive the invitation code. You plug in your invitation code along with your subscription transaction. That closes the transaction with your own HD mnemonic key. And that'll be sealed and written to the blockchain along with the username that you chose at the time that you created it. It sounds complicated, but it's really going to be a simple process. Get the invitation, drop it in. Now you have your username registered. You got your property on the blockchain. And then in December, we'll be testing just that. We'll be testing this onboarding process, this onboarding flow. And we're going to make sure that that's easy. And we're going to try and make sure that hopefully we can open this up. We can start getting feedback from you folks. We'll give you links. We'll say, hey, check this out. This is the testnet. This is what we're doing. Can you help us harden this thing, make it better? That's December. And then by June next year, Evolution version 1, quote unquote. Don't know what we're going to call it. Maybe Ogilvy and Mather will help us out with that. Then we'll have the Dash platform version 13. So that's it. That's the plan. Thanks, everybody.